we are going to assemble these pages before I finish all the decorations on each piece. Sometimes I do that. I finish the total decoration on each piece and then I assemble, but I like to assemble first and then get the feel of what it looks like and then decorate according to that. So if you do interactive layout, you assemble from the bottom up. So your very bottom layer is the base page, it's your background. We start with that one. So we can remove this now. I'm going to do page 2 first. Page 1 on the left, page 2 on the right. I'm going to do page 2 first. First one I'm going to put down is Q1, the zigzag. So what I did, I just cut zigzag on the first, from the top, the first one that's got a full row that hasn't been cut off. I cut that out to make a zigzag. I'm going to make a pocket out of this one. So I like to cut an absolute sliver. I just told you about my nice idea of a tray with all my tools, and now I'm looking for my ruler. So I'll just cut the slightest sliver off here. The reason why, and let me ink this. Cool. The reason why there will be pages from the second layer upwards will be tucked behind this. So I don't want this to stick out a millimeter even. It must fit absolutely like a glove. I think I can take off slightly more, a slight bit more. And before I ink it, let's see. I think I'm happy with that. So it means this fits like a glove inside, just inside your page, your base page, just inside. This will be a pocket. I inked all of this. Maybe I want to put something on here. Let me think about that. Okay, we'll get to that. Anyway, the only reason if I glue this down, to make sure I don't want to put something on here is because sometimes I want to use a brad and then I can't get it, but it's a pocket. I'll still be able to get my finger in there. So let's glue this down as a pocket. You can use wet glue. You can use double-sided tape. I'm a journal maker, so I mostly use wet glue, but I do also like to use double-sided tape. This has got the right side up, there's writing, so just make sure when you glue this down. Just on the free sides, I put glue. Let me just try and get some order here because my stuff is lying all over the place. You can burnish it down. Because I use wet glue, I always have some paper towel for the little bit of glue that might seep out. Okay, cool. The next one we're going to attach is P1. I wanted to put the pocket down first. If you guys remember the booklet will go inside this pocket. So let's put that in, just to give you an idea. The booklet will fit inside the pocket. I am going to put P1 down. So we scored it on the right hand side, 1/4 inch. It's more than enough to fit behind your base page. So the only thing you need to decide, and this is personal preference, is how far you want to. So I like the open space to sort of center P1 between top and bottom the same. Let's see, that's about 1 inch from the top. So we're going to glue down P1 on the right hand side behind your base page, if you can see that. So for this one, I also prefer wet glue because it's only 1/4 inch. It's a very small fold and it's a very small piece that will be glued down at the back. So slide it in there about 1/4 inch from the top. Make sure it folds over easily. Just make sure it folds. Perfect. And we can burnish it down. I'll just give it a second. It's fabric glue. It grabs quite quickly. Make sure there's no stickiness here because if you put this, close this up, it might just glue down onto the base page and we don't want that. So we got P1. We can remove that. The second one we want to attach first is O1. O1 is going to glue down here. You will see it covers a part of the pocket. I like the layering effect, so I put the pocket straight through to the edge. You could have cut it off here, but then you sit with a color, a different color, and a third color. I want the full picture here. So I try, you can now decide, you want to put it more towards the top, more towards the bottom, to show a bit of the green over there. I think I prefer this. So more or less then center in the middle of top and bottom. So this one I think is 8 or 9 inches. It's 9. So it's about 1.5 from the top and 1.5 from the bottom. We're going to glue that down. Remember, this is how this one works. We're only going to put glue on this middle section. So the best will be to keep this one close to make sure you're at the edge there. For this section that we're going to glue down, I'm going to use double-sided tape. It's just easier. Not exactly on the fold line, just to the inside of the fold line. And of course you can see I was very good. I inked everything. You'll see I didn't ink these 2 edges because they will be glued down. Again, just on the inside of the fold line. I'm putting a third one down. This way I don't need to put at the top and the bottom edge. I'm going to turn my page. It's just easier. And approximately same from the top and the bottom. So again, I'm going to put it like a millimeter away from the edge. Oh, sorry. Actually flush on the edge. And we can remove O1. So the next page going down here, I think, is M1. So M1 has got a fold to the left. It's going to be attached on the left of the base page. You will notice we made 1/2 inch that we folded. We scored at 1/2 inch. We need at least 1/2 inch to go around this page because there's already some bulk here. This side with the green one, it's the only one, and I had only 1/4 inch, so that is fine. Again, you can put wet glue or double-sided tape. I think I will put double-sided tape. It'll be quicker than to wait for the wet glue to dry. So I put it towards the edge and not right in the center of the fold. We don't want that bulk in the fold. It's bulky enough. So we can just burnish it down a bit. We can remove the tape. Again, I'm going to turn it sideways. It's just easier to slip it in there. Make sure, nope, sorry, not so successful. I'm trying to work with the camera here. So first of all, just make sure it folds over a bit. This is maybe the easiest way to do it like this. Make sure you flush with the bottom. And again, don't put it right there in the crease, just slightly to the left of the crease. And you can fold this over. There you go. So it opens up, that little guy opens up there. This goes that way. All right. Then we are going for the last layer, is L1. You can take the sticker off. Again, it is going on the left over everything. Again, I made 1/2 inch. So we can use double-sided tape, put it right at the edge of the paper, not in the fold. Finish it down. Make sure right side's up. We put it down, and again we turn this over and we will maneuver it in here. Make sure it's all flush, and we fold it over. And we give it a good burnish, and there we are. So what I like to do at the back is take some masking tape. It's absolutely not necessary, but I'll take some masking tape and I'll just put it over these two folds to secure them down even better. I'm not going to do that now, I'll do that at the end. Okay. So if we open up the top, you turn it over until you get to, in other words, the back of this. We're going to attach N1 as a pocket. So what we did, I scored 1/4 inch all sides. So what we can just do is we can just cut these corners to take away the bulk. Make sure when you fold them they are good, and I think we can use the very narrow double-sided tape, or you can put wet glue. Just want to make sure we're still recording. Yes. This is going down as a pocket. Before I put that down though, I want to add one of these leftover pieces. So I want to ink this. I did not give this a number, but you should have the same. I have some extra frames that I want to use here, and maybe some of my chipboard pieces that I colored with the ink. I think that's what we're going to do. So I got some brads in here, so I was thinking to use 4 brads to put this down. I had some scissors somewhere, nowhere. It's my glue scissors, I don't know where I put them. I'm just going to put 3 pieces of double-sided tape. Give it a burnish. And I just eyeball it, sort of in the center, sort of. There we go. I want to put the frame down. There's some eyelets in here. So I think I'll just use some wet glue. Anytime soon, the glue will come out. There we go. I got one of these little hearts. Definitely some wet glue. Let me just open for the dogs. They don't like closed doors. That should be enough. Fabric glue dries clear, so I'm not worried about the white. Then let's put the aloe down. I think I got some extra leaves. Once again, that should dry clear. Let's get some rags in here. What do we have? I don't really want... Let's see, what do we got? Maybe some bigger ones. Are they too big? Nothing is ever too big. Okay. And there's the first bark. I'll just secure these down because this is a pocket and we're going to slide something in there and we don't want it to get stuck. I wonder if I can make it half. Yes, it should be long enough. There we go. That should be fine. Now we can actually glue the pocket down. Sort of try and center it, top and bottom, not right to the edge. I hope that's straight. And there we have a beautiful pocket. I think N2 was 6 by 10. That will fit in here, and we will do something to N10 to make it more beautiful. And there we go. You can also choose that side if you want to. I just love this wood. There we go. So let's look at this page. I'm surrounded by tools again. So the second page has this layer. Then it has this layer. Then that happens. You can open up like this. I hope you can still see. I'm not sure if we can still see. Open up this way. And of course the booklet. Let's do the booklet quickly. Let's put this one to the side. And let's glue this down. I think, sorry. So I did put the right side on the inside because I'm not going to cover all of this. This will be for pictures. I'm only going to cover the middle. So let's try it that way. Cool. So this I can put down with double-sided tape. Actually, before I glue this down, I want to decide what I want to do here, whether it's going to be a space for a picture or I'm going to put something else on here. So let me rather not glue this down. Okay. What I can glue down, definitely, is the middle piece, the map. This one I can put down. Let's give it a burnish. Let's just say it's beautiful and straight. I'm first going to put this inside here until I'm exactly sure what I want to do. But what I can do so long is put it inside the pocket. There we go. So we're going to do page 2. Again, we start with the base page or background page. And the first thing again we're going to put is E1. It's a pocket, and again I cut out the zigzag, the very top zigzag row, and inked it. Once again, I'm going to cut off a little bit more than a sliver. I'm sure you can see how much it sticks over, but I am just going to cut off enough so that it fits within the page and don't stick over at all. So let's learn from previous mistakes. Let me check it first before I re-ink. I'm happy with that. And there we go. Again, we're going to put glue only on 3 sides, not the top. Let's hope this comes out better now. I'm using wet glue once again. You can use whatever you want. 3 sides to form a pocket. The nice thing of wet glue, you get a second or two to readjust. There we go. We're going to burnish it. And of course, once you burnish, you can see the wet glue that seeps out. And just pick it up. The next piece I'm going to put on is D1. So this is a mirror image of page 2. In some regards, not everything. You'll see it changes a bit. So D1, let's give it a burnish before we put the glue on. Again, this is only the 1/4 inch seam allowance there. So I will use again wet glue instead of tape. Oh my goodness, I give up. If all else fails, remove the lid. I'm so used to closing the glue every time I use it. Otherwise, again, top and bottom, space it equal. About 1 inch from the top. I just eyeball. You can please measure and make a little mark. See, there's some glue there. Okay, let's burnish this. And give it a second to grab. Again, make sure there's no glue here. Otherwise, if you close this, it'll get stuck and it'll tear your paper for sure. We can remove that. Now, the next one is a C1 that we made. Same principle. We're going to glue down. Just make sure there's enough space. I want to do some stamping on here. I think before we continue to glue this down, I will do some stamping. Otherwise, it will be uneven and it won't stamp nicely. Okay, so I did some stamping. It's not all that white anymore. I just do it for some background noise. You can still cover all this with photos if I want to. So yes, again, I don't want that to stick out there. I want it just beneath that. So it's more or less, again, halfway between these two. And it's also just that piece that I'm going to glue down. Let me put some double-sided tape. Again, not right on the fold, but just on the inside of the fold. And another one on the inside of the fold. And I just put a third one, because I don't put double-sided tape at top and bottom. Of course, this one is too long. Let's give it a good burnish. Again, I'm folding it, and I'm just going to turn my page because it's easier for me to look at it from this side. There we go. So the next one we're going to put down here, I forgot about F1, the card. It will go inside this pocket. Still needs to be decorated completely, but there it shall live. Then the next one I am going to put down is, this was A1. I removed the pink slip already, and it's going to be glued down on this side. So again, 1/2 inch strip. I'm comfortable to use double-sided tape here, and that is the end of this double-sided tape. Let's see what we have. I am very sure that I have more double-sided tape. Look at that. I've been hoarding this one because it's the craft color. I really like it. Don't know why I haven't used it. Don't know what I'm hoarding it for. But that's the end of it. We're going to use it now. I've had it for so long, I hope it still has glue on it. Okay, maybe not that long, but long enough. Let's give it a good burnish for in case. Feels sticky enough. Okay, so it must be this way. So we're going to turn it over and we're going to put it just inside the fold. And fold it over. Again, when I'm completely finished with these pages, I'll put masking tape over here to secure these and keep them in place. This is beautiful enough for a page. So it is this one. I think this is it, except for on the inside here, I'm going to put B1. I did a 1/2 inch score. It's not going to fold around, otherwise it will sit there. Nope, we're just going to put it flush to the edge, and it will go up like this. But again, I got some stuff I want to put on here. There we go. Let's ink this. I'm going to put it there. It's not a pocket. I am not going to put brads right through this because they will sit at the back. I don't want that. But I will put smaller brads. And I think I want to use some colored ones. I'm sure I got enough. Oh my goodness, it's a challenge. I tell you what we do. Apparently, there's plenty of the apricot color. Oh, and pink. So here it is. 2 cream and 2 apricot. It's my page. I can do what I want. Now it will only be through this one layer in the 4 corners. Let's put the 2 cream ones. Oh my goodness. I forgot that these are quite long. Hopefully I can hide them. Let's try and fit them in there, see what they do. I'm not going to bother with that now. I am just going to use double-sided tape. It's playtime in this house for the dogs. It's actually evening. So I heard them going down the hallway. Sounds like they're chasing something or somebody. Again, I'm just going to eyeball it. Look at that little one peeking out there. And this one here. I should have just trimmed them with my side cutter, but they're not going anywhere. So let's add the frame again. If I put wet glue, I don't put it right on the edge, because if it seeps out a bit, it will still be underneath this. Again, just a general eyeballing here. There we go. Then hopefully that's enough. I'm just going to put one here at the bottom. Hopefully I got enough glue there. Well, I got a second heart. Might as well use it here. I'm sure I put the glue on the wrong side. It's exactly what I did. Let's try again. Hopefully that's enough. Those can come from the little heart. Okay, that's enough for now. I'm going to put some wet glue on this one. If I still need to maneuver it a bit, I've got some. flush to the edge. And it's the nice spot. If it's not double-sided tape, you can move it a bit. Okay, let's give it a burnish. Pick up the extra glue. Open it up and make sure there's not some glue that seeped out on this side. So this is what we have. Lots of space for photos and. Let's see. It actually goes this way. It opens up and opens up there. This opens up, this closes, opens up to reveal the pocket. Great. Where's the other one? So we now have a page 1 and a page 2. I hope you guys can see. I wonder, let's just see. Let's see. Page 1 and 2, and of course these lines up. Cool. Now to start with the decoration on the front page. So remember when we cut this one? We cut this off the top. I never gave it a number. It's 3 inches. So I'm going to use that one. For on page 2, the second page, the right hand side page, I cut this from the sticker sheet. It's the sticker sheet. It comes with the pack. I cut Ubuntu, I am because we are, and I want to use a piece of this. Approximately so much. I can still use this somewhere else. And then of course I want to ink this. Make this a pocket. Of course I can. Should have actually cut it a bit longer, but it'll still work as a pocket. So I want to put, this is right side up, Ubuntu here, and I am because we are. Let's do that. So I'm never good with stickers. Love stickers, but I'm never good to. I can hear my husband trying to get those dogs to settle. There we go. Didn't take as long as I expected it to take. Let's see what this will look like. Is it more or less? I'm going to put the sticker all the way to the top. I love it. It's like a rub-on, except it's not. So I learned with sticker, you must give it a good burnish. Then you don't see the sticker. But in this case, you will see the sticker, I'm sure. Whenever I make a journal or a page, I always try and use the name of the paper somewhere. In this case, it's so beautiful. The whole Ubuntu concept is so beautiful. So it's so easy to use it here. I love it. But that's not everything. We still need to put this one on. Let's see if we can get it off. Look at that. Seconds. I'm a pro. So let's put this on straight. Let's try our best to put it on straight. So what I feel like doing here is to raise this a bit. But if I do that, I can't really use this as a pocket because they will definitely fall out. And of course, I want to put something here. Let's see what we have. Shall we do that? I think that will work. Okay. that one. There are so many to choose from. That one, I think is too light. Of course, there's that one. I think I'm going to use this one. Since I have two, I might as well do this. Let's see about these two. I will decide, but I know I can put this one down. Then if we close this, we got Ubuntu. Cool. Let's get some glue on here. Oh, I want to make it a pocket. I'm sure you shouted at me, pocket. So I need to put glue on 3 sides. More or less in the middle. Of course, it's a bit difficult to work here because at the back is all this 3D items. Cool. So I'm going to decorate the front. I will show you pictures. I'm not going to make you watch me decorate all this, but I'll show close-up pictures of how I did it. And you can follow if you want to or do your own thing, obviously.